If rugby union had a heartbeat, it would wear the number 9 jersey. But who was the greatest to do it? We'll list some contenders, but we need you to have your say in the comments below. The player with the most mentions takes their spot in your greatest ever 15 revealed at the end of this series. Enter Aaron Smith, New Zealand's metronome at scrum half. Since his debut in 2012, Smith has been the gold standard for modern scrum halves. His pass is the best in the game. Crisp, flat, and giving fly halves like Dan Carter an extra metre of space, which is gold in international rugby. With over 100 caps and 2 World Cup wins, 2011 and 2015, Smith's resume is stacked. His game management and lightning-fast delivery let the All Blacks play at a tempo that breaks teams apart. Smith's running game is underrated. He's not just a passer, he can snipe around the ruck, keeping defenses honest. His box kicking is pinpoint, and his work rate is relentless. Critics might argue he benefits from playing in a dominant All Black side, but his individual brilliance shines through. George Grian himself called Smith the best passer he's ever seen, and that's high praise from a legend. Smith's consistency and skill in the professional era make him a serious contender, though some say he lacks the game-changing aura of others on this list. Next, Joost van der Westhuizen, the South African who embodied the Springbok spirit. Standing at 6'2", unusually tall for a scrum half, Joost was a force of nature. From 1993 to 2003, he earned 89 caps, scoring an incredible 38 tries, a record for a South African scrum half. His sniping runs from the back of scrums were deadly, piercing defenses with explosive acceleration, but it was his defense that made him a legend. In the 1995 World Cup final, Joost faced down Jonah Lomu, the most terrifying winger in rugby history. His tackle on Lomu just outside the 22-metre line helped South Africa win their first World Cup on home soil, cementing his status as a national hero. Joost's career wasn't just about that moment. He captained the Springboks 10 times, led them to their first Tri-Nations title in 1998, and became the first South African to reach 100 matches in 2001. His relentless drive and ability to fill gaps, whether breaking, passing or tackling, made him a complete player. Tragically, Joost was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in 2011 and passed away in 2017, but his legacy lives on through the J9 Foundation, raising awareness for the disease. His combination of size, skill and heart makes him a strong contender for the greatest ever. Next up, Gareth Edwards, a name that echoes through rugby history like a thunderclap. Playing for Wales in the 1960s and 70s, Edwards redefined what a scrum half could do. At just 18, he caught the eye of Cardiff RFC selectors, and by 19, he was wearing the red of Wales. His 53 caps for Wales and 10 for the British and Irish Lions tell only part of the story. Edwards was a freak athlete, fast, strong and fearless despite his smaller frame. His partnership with fly half Barry John was pure magic, leading Wales to 3 Grand Slams and 9 Five Nations titles in the 1970s. Edwards' highlight reel is legendary. Take his try for the Barbarians against New Zealand in 1973, often called the greatest try ever. He took a pass at full tilt, dived for the corner, and left defenders grasping at air. Or his solo effort against Scotland in 1972, weaving through tackles like they weren't even there. Edwards wasn't just about flair though. His game reading was unmatched, and he had the strength to shrug off forwards twice his size. He played in an amateur era, training after long days at work, yet his impact was so massive that a statue of him stands in Cardiff. Some argue the professional era's demands would have tested him, but his raw talent and rugby IQ make him a titan. Now, let's talk George Grian, Australia's record-breaking scrum half. With 139 caps, the most for any Wallaby, Grian was the backbone of Australia's golden era. Born in Zambia and raised in Australia, he debuted in 1994 and played through 2007, captaining the side 59 times. His pass was like a laser, always finding the right runner, and his game awareness kept Australia's forwards firing at a relentless pace. Grian's partnership with fly half Stephen Larkham was telepathic, fueling the Wallabies' 1999 World Cup win, where they outclassed South Africa and France. Grian wasn't just a technician, he had a competitive edge that rattled opponents. In 2003, he taunted the All Blacks with 4 more years after knocking them out of the World Cup. His tackle on Jeff Wilson in 1994 saved the Bledisloe Cup for Australia, showing his clutch defensive skills. Grian's durability was unreal. playing over a decade at the highest level, including stints in France and Japan. Some say his trash-talking and smaller size, compared to Joost, were weaknesses, but his leadership and consistency make him a giant in this debate. Next up, Antoine Dupon, the French phenomenon who's rewriting the Scrum half playbook. At just 28, Dupon has already been crowned World Rugby Player of the Year and led France to a Six Nations Grand Slam in 2022. His vision, speed and power are unreal. He's a pocket battleship who can break lines, offload in traffic, or kick tactically. In the 2023 World Cup, he returned from a broken cheekbone to face South Africa in the quarterfinals, proving his toughness matches his talent. Dupon's impact goes beyond stats. He's changed how scrum halves play, blending traditional passing with playmaking flair usually seen in fly halves. His performances for Toulouse and France are game-defining, with fans and players alike calling him the best ever. But some argue it's too early to crown him. His career is still young, and he hasn't won a World Cup. Others, like those on Reddit, point out his consistency on both sides of the ball sets him apart, even from past greats like Grian or Joost. Recency bias? Maybe. But Dupont's dominance can't be ignored. Sid Going, the all-black legend from the 1960s and 70s, known as Super Sid, he played 29 tests for New Zealand between 1967 and 1977, scoring 10 tries, a huge number for a scrum half in that era. Going was a pioneer, blending speed, agility, and a running game that caught defences off guard. His ability to snipe around the ruck was revolutionary, making him a nightmare for opponents. Picture the 1971 British Lions tour. Going's quick taps and darting runs kept the Lions guessing, helping New Zealand hold their own in a tight series. He wasn't just a runner, his passing was crisp, and his game management was top-notch for an amateur era where instinct ruled. Going won 5 New Zealand championships with North Auckland, showing his consistency at the domestic level. But here's the catch. He never played in a World Cup, as rugby first came in 1987, long after his retirement. His legacy is built on raw talent and influence, but the lack of global tournaments limits his silverware. Next up, Nick Farr-Jones, the Wallaby captain who redefined leadership. Playing from 1984 to 1993, he earned 63 caps and led Australia to their first World Cup in 1991. Farr-Jones was the complete package: a sharp passer, a tactical kicker, and a master at controlling tempo. His partnership with fly half Michael Lynagh was legendary, orchestrating Australia's golden era. Think back to the 1991 World Cup final against England. Farr-Jones's quick service and clever box kicks kept the Wallabies in control, starving England of possession. He wasn't flashy like Going, but his decision-making was surgical. He also won 2 Bledisloe Cups and was inducted into the Rugby Pass Hall of Fame in 2021. Critics might say he leaned heavily on his team's strength, but his ability to steer Australia through high-pressure games, often as captain, sets him apart. Now Justin Marshall, the fiery All Black who dominated the late 1990s and early 2000s. With 81 caps from 1995 to 2005, Marshall was a talker and a doer, known for his chirpy on-field banter and relentless work rate. He scored 24 tries, a testament to his attacking flair, and his 112 appearances for the Crusaders helped them win 3 Super Rugby titles. Picture the 1999 World Cup semi-final against France. Despite New Zealand's loss, Marshall's quick passes and sniping runs kept the All Blacks in the fight. His kicking game was solid, and he thrived in the professional era's faster pace. Marshall's spell with the Ospreys in Wales showed his adaptability, but he never won a World Cup, a gap in his resume compared to others. Still, his charisma and ability to run the show for New Zealand make him a fan favourite. Augustin Picho, Argentina's scrappy genius, played from 1995 to 2008, earning 71 caps. He wasn't the biggest, but his heart and hustle made him a giant. Picho's quick thinking and fearless play lifted Argentina from underdogs to global contenders. He captained the Pumas to 3rd place at the 2007 World Cup, their best ever finish, and led elite clubs like Stade Francais and Racing 92 to domestic titles. In 2007, Picho's leadership shone against France in the World Cup opener. His rapid service and clever kicks dismantled the hosts, setting the tone for Argentina's campaign. He didn't have the silverware of others, but his impact on Argentine rugby, paving the way for their entry into the Rugby Championship, was massive. Picho's induction into the Rugby Pass Hall of Fame in 2021 reflects his legacy. Some argue his size limited his dominance, but his tenacity made up for it. Finally, Farr Duprier, South Africa's master tactician. From 2004 to 2015, he earned 76 caps, won the 2007 World Cup, and secured 2 Tri-Nations titles. Duprier was a coach on the field, with a pinpoint passing game and a kicking ability that controlled matches. He played 112 games for the Bulls, winning 3 Super Rugby titles, and added 4 domestic titles with Suntory in Japan. Rewind to the 2007 World Cup final against England. Duprier's box kicks and quick decisions kept South Africa's game plan tight, suffocating England's attack. His ability to read the game was unmatched. Former coach Eddie Jones called him the best decision-making scrum half ever. Even in 2015, after a knee injury, he broke Welsh hearts with a late try in the World Cup quarter-final. Critics might say he lacked the flair of a Going or Marshall, but his rugby IQ was off the charts. That concludes 10 of our picks. But who really deserves the top spot? Comment your pick below, and the name with the most mentions earns the title and takes their spot in your greatest ever 15, revealed at the end of this series. See you next time as we get back to the rugby.